Hey guys, top of the morning to you. Richard Scouten, Remountain Horsemanship. Out here on a beautiful day in North Kakalaki. This is that horse Ariès that I made a few videos about with the girth rope. I've already led him by the foot. I got him yielding his hindquarters, got him yielding his front end, and today he's sniffing a saddle. Because like all horses, there has to be a first time for everything, and today's going to be his first time getting saddled. So I brought the saddle out here in the round pen, and he's just sniffing it. That's my buddy's Justin pad, so he can bite it, he can stomp on it. I don't really care. It's all about confidence building. Whatever he needs to do to get used to that smell of the tack, the way it might feel in his mouth, I'll let him do whatever he wants. Send him back around here. Take his hips away. See if I can get some curiosity in that, just like that. Get that curiosity, engage that mind to bring him in there and let him do his business. There he is nibbling on it. I won't let him paw it or anything like that, but a little bit of nibbling's fine. So, in the girth rope video, he did just fine. No big issues there. While he's moving, I can use the flag and rub him with that flag while he's moving. There's gonna be lots of moving parts when that saddle's on top of his back. So as he's walking, I'm just moving that flag near ear, or near eye, far eye. Take those hips away, bring that front end through. Rub this side, near eye, cross the spine into the far eye. Take those hips away, close that door, bring the front end through. Make sure I can take those hips away, have him face me. Good boy. So those are the things that I'm looking for before I put the saddle on. Always checking my safety measures. Kind of my SOP is to make sure that I have everything working that I have already taught, so that way everything should be going smoothly in case something goes south in the saddling process. And sometimes it does. Sometimes you can saddle a horse for the first time and they could really care less. And sometimes they get a bit bothered by it. So there I am, just rubbing on him. Have that lead rope just draped over my arm. If I needed to grab it, all I got to do is reach down and grab it. But when I'm doing these things and trying to gain his confidence, I don't want to have to hold him. I want him to stand there. If he's interested in the pad, I'll let him sniff it. If he's not, then I'll just walk up to him, rub him on his legs, rub him on his neck. Take that pad, run it down his hips. Good boy. Pet him up here, and if you watch, I'm going to put this pad up high on his neck. So I'll just swing that pad a time or two. Smooth motion up on his neck. Rub it down. Swing that pad up on his neck. Rub it down. So I'm not just placing that pad where it goes. I'm putting it up high, sliding it back down, kind of rubbing him with it, getting all them back hairs aligned. Good boy. Make sure he's okay with pats. Ask him to lower his head. Rub on that pad, rub on him, rub him as I lower his head. Good boy. Now I do 9 times out of 10, I'll put my pad on, my saddle on from the right side. Just so I get stuff, well, it's also so I can drop my cinches without having to walk around my horse. But it also gets them used to things happening in the right eye and the left eye. So I'm gonna get my saddle, get it all lined out, sitting nice. Bring him out here. There's about there's 4 horses tied up out here. Get his attention back on me, see something, rub on him. my saddle on, I'm going to aim high. I'm not going to aim here, I'm going to aim high. That way my stirrup leather clears and I can just set that saddle down on his back as nice as I can. So I'm going to swing the saddle and them tapaderos on the stirrup, swing it, same smooth motion, set it. Good boy. First time he's ever had a saddle on his back, rubbing on him, licking and chewing, asking to lower that head. Now I'm going to drop my cinches, and this is not the time to dilly-daddle. So I'm going to drop my cinches, whatever adjustments I need to make. Make sure it's going to fit him. Now, I'll turn him so y'all can see this side. Put them around. Move the shoulders. Easy, buddy. Good. So from here, pick this stirrup up. Set it on his back. I'm going to reach under there. Yeah, he's kind of moving around. That's all right. Rub on him, teach him everything's all right. I'm going to slide my hand down his belly and grab that front cinch. But I'm going to maintain contact with my arm as I grab that front cinch, and then maintain contact as I bring that front cinch back on. It's kind of hard to talk while I'm doing this. So grab that front cinch. I'm going to put my latigo in there. I'm going to put 3 wraps around my cinch ring. That way, if you were to squirt out, friction is going to hold that latigo in case I don't have time to put the pin in. Now, on the first saddling, I want my cinch, I would rather have my cinch be a little bit too tight than a little bit too loose, because what I don't want to have happen is for him to break in half and have that saddle fall underneath him. That'd be a bad day. And that can be tough to work out of a horse. So I'm going to squeeze with my left hand up here on his withers as I tighten that cinch. Squeeze with that left hand as I tighten that cinch. That's pretty good. I'm out of it. So he's moving off, that's all right. I got 3 wraps on that latigo. So I just took the hips away, no big deal. And I asked him to stay there. Doing this, you might have to be asking the horse to stand still as you're doing up your cinches, as you're getting ready to jump out of the way if he gets kind of crazy on you. The front cinch is done up. That stirrup's still over his back, but that's okay. He needed to move his feet a little bit, so I let him move his feet a little bit. Good boy. Do it my back cinch. I don't do my back cinch up very tight. I do it just tight enough that it can't get hobbled with a hind foot. If he starts kicking, I don't want a hind foot getting stuck in that hop or in that cinch. Take the hips away. Rub them to a stop. Lower that stirrup. Now he's ready to go. Just like everything I've done before, his first job is to get used to it, standing still, just kind of, he's breathing, he's feeling them cinches, he's seeing them stirrups out of his eyes, just let out a big breath. Rubbing on him, lots of rubbing on him. Rub that saddle. Your hand on the saddle makes a different noise than your hand on his hair. Good boy. Lead him forward for you. Leading up a lot better than he was in the previous videos. Good boy. Just want to rub his butt. Don't want him to move. There he goes. So from here, I'm going to ask him to move out. But I'm not just going to ask him to move forward. I'm gonna ask him to move out with his hips kind of on the outside. So move his nose out and then right away come back here to his hips. I always want to kind of keep him bent, kind of keep that arc in his body. That way he won't get an angle on me and get away from me. There's a nice lick and chew. Drive him back on. Just giving him time to figure out what's going on. The prior and proper preparation helped us get to this point. The girth rope, the crack in the bull whips, getting him used to the flag, getting me used to that, the one where I put the rope around his neck and then over his hind end. All of that stuff leads up to this moment in time. Take his hips away. I'm gonna hesitate. I throw little hesitations in there so I don't start to teach an assumption. I don't want him just to think that every time I take his hips away, he's got to bring the front end through. So I'm going to take the hips away, stop, turn, face, and wait, and then I'll ask for that front end to come through. And walk on, and walk on. So he wasn't walking off with the energy that I wanted. So I just added a little bit more energy, get a little bit more life in his feet to say, let's just walk on a little bit faster. Walk on, drive that nose out, drive those shoulders out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he's a little bit tense here. Those nostrils are kind of flared, he's a little bit tight, breathing very shallow. So when they're doing that, that just tells me to kind of maintain pressure. Keep doing what you're doing, but don't add any more pressure, don't ask for anything else, because he's not mentally ready for it. You add pressure too fast when they're not ready, and then you can get them breaking in half and get them making a bunch of dust in your round pen. A little bit bothered, so I'll take those hips away. So in that moment, he got a little bit bothered, thought he might want to leave on me, so I just took the hips away, said, hey buddy, I saw you were a little bit unconfident. I respect and understand that, so I'm going to take your hips away. Stop what you're doing, approach and retreat, send them back on. Step in here, take those hips away, bring that front end through. That's a better walk. More life in his feet. A lot of times I'll listen to the gait, I'll listen to the footfalls. And they can be hard footfalls and they can be soft footfalls. That's a nice lively walk. It sounds good. He's not slamming his feet down. He's setting them down. The dogs just got let out of the house. Some dogs came out of the house. He thought he might want to look at them. I just said, hey buddy, we're doing a job here. You got to earn your paycheck. Take the hips away. Send them back off to the left. So from here, what I would do, and my right-hand man Justin's not out here today to film, but from here what I'd do is I'd probably take the halter off, let them out on the round pen, work on the walk, the trot, the canter. And when I'm doing that, I kind of let them do what they need to do. I generally like to have a lead rope on the first saddling. That way, if they get in a bind, I can help them out. I can take those hips when they get a bit bothered, and I can just teach them that I'm here with them. Take those hips away. That was very nice. So for the very first time being saddled in his life, the first time walking off with the saddle, I think he did very, very well. So remember, your prior and proper preparation prepares your horse for this. Prepare them for the next thing. Always be advancing them, always be progressive. If you set them up right, it should kind of be a no-brainer. All right, guys, thanks for watching this first saddling videos of this nice little gelding Friesian cross. I'll catch you all next time.